We call the committee to order. As an initial point of business, since a quorum is now present, I ask the committee to consider 3,059 pending military nominations. All of these nominations have been before the committee the required length of time. Is there a motion to favorably report this list?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you very much. Good morning. The committee meets today to receive testimony from General Glen VanHerck, Commander of the United States Northern Command and North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, and General Laura Richardson, Commander of the United States Southern Command. I would note this is General VanHerck's last appearance before the committee in his current role. General, I would like to express my profound appreciation for your decades of exceptional service to the nation and the Air Force, including your outstanding leadership of our Northcom forces. Thank you, sir, very much. On behalf of the committee, I would also thank the women and men who serve under your respective commands for their selfless service to the nation. The global threats to the United States are edging closer and closer to home. The 2022 National Defense Strategy identifies one of the Defense Department's top priorities as defending the homeland, paced to the growing multi-domain threat posed by the People's Republic of China. General VanHerck, your commander is responsible for this homeland defense mission. To be successful, Northcom will need to reevaluate its assumptions and plans against the PRC, against their growing capabilities to threaten us territorially as well as in cyberspace and space. I understand Northcom has been working to develop a new homeland defense policy guidance to meet this challenge, and would ask for an update on its status and how it would transform the homeland defense plans of the department. The recent shoot-downs of a Chinese surveillance balloon and 3 other unidentified aerial phenomenon in our airspace have raised concerns that we may have an awareness gap that needs to be resolved. America's skies and seas must be secure to protect our citizens, and the department must pursue technologies that provide forward detection to buy decision time for decision makers. Relatedly, Congress is considering auctioning the S-band spectrum, which is the spectrum in which Northcom radars operate for early warning around the continental United States, for missile defense on the ground in Alaska, and for maritime domain awareness with an Aegis weapon system. General VanHerck, the committee would like to know the impact of curtailing or losing this spectrum with regard to your operations. Regionally, Northcom provides support to U.S. law enforcement to counter cartels engaged in drug smuggling, human trafficking, and money laundering across the southwest border. General VanHerck, I'm interested to know more about your efforts to build the capabilities of the security forces in Mexico and the Bahamas to address these regional threats, and your recommendations for strengthening those efforts. Turning to Southern Command, General Richardson, your command faces growing challenges from China and Russia in Latin America. The political and economic instability in the region presents a situation that our adversaries are seeking to exploit to increase their own influence. China, in particular, is expanding its presence in the region, primarily through acquisitions and investments in strategically critical locations like Panama, and reflecting the growing influence Moscow has exerted in the region. Most South American countries have been non-committal on Russia's war in Ukraine. A critical task for Southcom is to find ways to counter Russia and China's malign hybrid activities. This challenge includes addressing sources of insecurity among our partners that our adversaries seek to exploit. It is also important to strengthen the capabilities of U.S. partners' security forces, including by building defense institutional capabilities that adhere to the rule of law and respect human rights. General Richardson, I am interested in your assessment of the challenge from near-peer competitors in the Southcom area and how we might work strategically with our partners in the region to build resilience against these activities. Southcom, like Northcom, continues to work closely with the U.S. government interagency to support counter-narcotics and counter-transnational criminal organization missions. A critical component of this effort has been the Joint Interagency Task Force South, which provides a model for the Defense Department to work with civilian agencies and partner nations to build domain awareness and enhance interdiction capabilities. To help compensate for its limited resources, Southcom has sought to leverage non-traditional approaches, such as artificial intelligence and machine learning, to serve as a testbed for new tactics and operational concepts.
Today's strategic environment is the most complicated and potentially dangerous in my more than 35 years of service. While the United States military remains the most powerful and professional force in history, we have to account for the recent erosion of military advantage and take actions now to invest in modernization, implement innovative processes, prioritize our personnel and civilian hiring practices, and increase agile decision-making at all levels. Our competitors' actions and ambitions are global and all-domain in nature. It is also clear that they have the capability and intent to hold our homeland at risk above and below the nuclear threshold and in multiple domains to achieve their strategic objectives. The PRC and Russia have fielded cruise missiles, delivery platforms, and non-kinetic capabilities to hold at risk critical infrastructure, military and civilian, in the United States and Canada. Those capabilities allow them to strike with limited warning and significant consequences.